and reflect on what we do with the things that God has given us. God is interested in quality, not quantity. If you're only a relative newcomer to St Andrews, you won't remember that before our wonderful new build on the side here, which we can see in that slide, was here, it was a different story altogether. But that new build didn't just magically appear. Obviously, it cost a huge amount of money. It was financed by the people of St Andrews. And not by the people that just the people that have plenty and could afford to do it. It wasn't just down to a few, but everyone was able to give in their different ways, larger or smaller amounts. And it was a time where we really felt a togetherness because we were all in that project. And people used their talents to raise money, which they wouldn't otherwise have had to give. We had dancing lessons, we had people making cakes for other people, all sorts of projects that enabled that wonderful new build to happen. And likewise with the roof. Through donations and through an interest-free loan that somebody was able to make, here we are as warm and as environmentally friendly as we could be today. Which makes me laugh. Because this programme of services, the sermon plan, was written months ago. But God must have known that this was the week when the boilers would fail altogether. Which I think is just amazing. Because apparently it's just getting worse and worse. We've gone from one boiler that didn't work, so we could either heat the church or the hall, and now apparently not only do the boilers not work, they also now cause the electrics not to work. So obviously something major has got to happen. They are beyond repair. And the PCC next week will have to make a decision about what we're going to do. There are all sorts of options, as you can imagine, are being looked into, and people who understand about those things are going to advise the PCC on the right decision. Meanwhile, wrap up more. I'm dying to put my coat back on. Now, it would be, or would it be wonderful if one person said, I'd pay for that, I'll pay for this new super duper boiler, and nobody else need to disturb themselves. Well, that would be great. But we wouldn't have that feeling that we're all in this together and we can all contribute. So that's something to weigh up. But on the other hand, if somebody did pay for the boiler and everybody else still contributed, maybe we could do something else with the money, like we could have a youth worker or some other kind of interesting and exciting project, a way forward in God's work. Lots of things to weigh up. But if we ask God, then He will direct us. And hopefully before too long we'll be warmer than we are this morning. It is a challenge, I think, more so. The more money you've got, the more of a challenge and an act of discipline it is to know how to spend it, to develop the wisdom and discernment that is needed to know how wealth can be used and should be used. We hear stories that plenty of people have won the lottery. Wow, wonderful! But then their lives turn into a complete mess because they didn't have the wisdom or the discernment as to know what to do with that money. And many find that there is no joy in that life. Many smiling faces, or maybe even the most smiling faces, seem to be found in the most deprived parts of the world. When I went to India and I saw children, families living in the most abject poverty, what they had was smiley faces. How could they possibly have smiley faces? When our groups had gone out to the Ukraine and worked with the gypsy families, or go to Tanzania and experience the work of Name and Craft. For the photographs we see are people smiling. We wouldn't be smiling if we were living in mud which has been frozen. We just wouldn't be. That's not where joy lies, Jesus says. And if we're followers of his, then we have to take that on board for ourselves. And it doesn't, I would say, apply to just giving money, but also to our time and our skills. I need a great deal of help when I'm putting these services together, because IT is not my forte. Poor Derek. Oh, she's on the phone again. I've told her how to do that already. Without people like Derek and without Neil and Mark and Barry and the rest of the musicians to help me, this would never come together. Good thing, you might be thinking. But we all need each other. We need to share our talents. And that's an ongoing thing. We've got a new venture now. You probably saw the poster as you came in. Little Treasures has started on a Friday morning. And Jane and Helen have started this venture just to test the water to see if there is a need for a group for parents and preschool children to come together. And the numbers seem to be increasing week on week. So yes, there is a need there, but they can't do that by themselves. They're going to need, if this keeps on going, they're going to need some people that go without small children to keep an eye on, that will perhaps make the drinks, do the register, put out the toys. If you think that's actually something I could do on a Thursday evening or a Friday morning, perhaps you'd like to see Jane or Helen afterwards or at some point. Could you give us a twirl, Jane and Helen? Where are you? I've seen Helen. So Helen's way. Oh, there they are, look, conveniently sitting together. That's perhaps a way of using our talents in quite a small way, perhaps. But all these small things add together to make big things. I wonder, when you come into church, do you ever think about the unsung teenagers that clean it week by week? I wonder if people even know who does that. But how we would miss them if they didn't. I know who they are. Do you? You'll find a little challenge there. You might look around and see somebody go. And who makes sure that when we have our coffee and our tea at the end of the service, that there is actually enough? Somebody does that. Somebody goes and does the shopping and puts it in the cupboards. These are all small things, but they make a huge difference. But obviously we know that Jesus made the biggest sacrifice of all. He did the biggest giving. He doesn't expect us to be crucified, but bit by bit we can give for him and to his work. And God will bless us, like he has with our new building and our new roof. And he will with our boilers. And hopefully, maybe a youth worker too, which will be very exciting. So I've chosen the next couple of songs to enable us to say to God, I want to offer my life to you in every aspect of it. And I do hope that you will feel that you can join with that too, that you too would like to offer your life to God. So